Bonetti here with you at the Perth Convention and Exhibition Centre. Well, I'm having a great time at Supanova, still recovering from the broken ankle, but nothing was going to stop me from coming from one of my favourite weekends of the year. And I've got a very special guest joining me now, Anson. Thank you for coming to Perth, and thank you very much for your time.
It was literally my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Are you having a good time so far in Australia?
Yeah, very much. Now that I'm sort of a little bit over the jet lag.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a time difference, isn't it?
Oh,
so you come from
man.
Sydney last week, you're in Perth, which is still 2 hours behind where you were, so you caught up in the time difference at this stage?
Yeah, it's getting there, of course, just in time for me to go back.
Almost. You're on your last leg, we won't keep you too long.
Yeah.
I hope the fans are treating you well as also.
Oh, very much.
Fans are great, aren't they?
Yeah.
Cosplayers.
I've never had a group of fans in a particular country that were more invested in wanting to make sure I was having a good time. They really want to know, are you enjoying Australia?
Yeah, you've been in Perth for a couple of days. I think I saw a photo online. You went to Caversham and met the animals out there.
That's great.
So you're going to do anything else while you're in Perth, or are you running out of time quickly?
You know, I'm trying to get back as soon as we go. My wife wasn't able to come with me because we just bought a new house and we're still getting settled.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. I need to get back.
Sorry, you take care of the house.
Yeah, I got to get back and power wash the siding and get ready for our housewarming and all of that. So, unfortunately, this time no, but I'm hoping to bring my wife back with me next time. And
we'd love to have you
weeks.
here. Yeah. Make sure you get off to Rottnest as well and other sites in Perth. Perth is beautiful. So
it really is.
Yeah. Now I got to congratulate you as well. I mean, I thought that your role as Captain Christopher Pike in the Star Trek Discovery, perfect casting. I think you did an absolutely fantastic job in that, just to finish that season this year. I mean, how did it feel playing that role of such an iconic character as well? Sort of, he's the character that kicked off it all before Kirk.
It's honestly surreal.
Yeah.
I've never had a role that remained more surreal for a longer period of time. I just finished doing a movie with Anthony Hopkins, and by comparison, that was easy to get used to the idea.
Really?
But walking onto the bridge and sitting in the chair and realizing I'm the captain of it's a small club, and having grown up a Trekkie, it's bizarre, but great.
Oh, again, I've seen every single episode of Star Trek, and always when you go back to these, because it's a prequel as well, it's like, how are they going to answer this? Because they always find a way to answer the questions and fill in the holes. So did you find that working on the show as well?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Well, they always find a way to fill in the blanks or fill in those questions, like, because it's a prequel, they're going back before the time, and it's like, that explains that. And by the end of it, I mean, Spock said that there's got to be no mention of Discovery at all, because there's no mention of Discovery in the future episodes. I'm thinking, how are they going to explain that? And they explain that in the last episode, basically.
We retain a couple of Star Trek experts because
you have to.
Canon at this point is encyclopedic.
Yeah.
And and you want to get it right, but I think leaping forward 1,000 years into the future, even though I'm not going to be with them for obvious reasons. I think that was as much maybe a decision for creative freedom as much as it was like why not go farther than we've ever been, which I think was also a good reason.
Has there been the reaction of you playing the role as well? Has it been obviously positive as well? I mean, did you feel the pressure of obviously the Star Trek, the Trekkies out there, from their perspective? Right.
Well, I'm a Trekkie, so I knew
that helps.
I know the importance of getting it right, and so being able to play a role like Christopher Pike, anything that you do as an artist, there's an element to it that's a little bit like wrapping a Christmas gift. You're really excited, and it's the right gift for the right person. You're really excited for Christmas morning. There is an element of that, but playing Pike and in Star Trek, it's added incentive to make sure I've done my homework and that my choices are correct, and that it's going to be as good as it possibly can be. At the same time, I'm old enough at this point to know what's going to help me and what's not going to help me, and worrying too much about something that I have no control over is not really going to help me.
Did you know this role was just made for you when it first came up or available?
I don't think anything's really made for me. It certainly was not made for me. It was already conceived of and conceptualized before I came aboard. but
I just thought it was
seemed
perfectly
it
cast.
Fit. It fit
Yeah.
all right, and eventually I found my way. I don't feel like I really got into the role until about 8th or 9th episode.
Okay, you've been a bit hard on yourself there. But,
I am.
But I mean, going back, you started in a long series show, Hell on Wheels, and I noticed you said something before about that show is that if you had it been 10 years earlier or something like that, you don't think you could have played the part.
No.
Did it feel like that with any other of the roles that you played, or that you sort of had to sort of grow into that sort of role, or the roles that you play?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of this business that is serendipitous, but it's also coming across the right role at the right time in your life. That is going to mean something both to you and to the development of the character.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big part of it, but you have no control over it. It's just timing.
Someone that's had a big influence on your career, I heard in a panel, I can't remember the person's name, your acting coach, or did someone have a big influence in your career? You mentioned it in the panel.
Bonetti?
Yeah, that's right. That's probably why I couldn't pronounce the name
amazing
properly.
clown teacher.
Yeah, so he has big influence?
And what I studied with a student of his for a long time named Gregor Peslowski, who taught me in graduate school, and I trailed him for a while as a teacher.
Yeah.
Tremendous influence on my acting, and really just giving me something to hold on to while I worked through realizing that I knew nothing.
Learn something new every day, as they always say. Yeah. Now, what can we look out for from you in the future? What's next for you?
This movie that I just finished with Anthony, with your countryman, Abby Cornish.
Yeah.
It's called The Virtuoso, and we're editing right now.
When's it released?
Well, when you make an independent film, you don't know that answer because you have to sell it.
Yeah.
And so we're going to hopefully play some of the larger festivals, and then sell and then distribute. But whoever buys it will have say over that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'd like to thank you very much for coming to Perth. I was very much looking forward. It's been a great chat, and I can't wait to see what you do next. So congratulations again on your career.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Thank you, sir.
All right.